number 2, you might notice that it is not equal to 0.
Do we have to memorize the formula?
No. No. I will leave it up there. It'll be on your test. You just have to know how to use it. Okay. So no, you don't have to memorize it. Thank you for asking that. Get it equal to 0 first. It's not equal to 0. So move it over. So your 12x, we would want to move to the other side by subtracting. And it would get combined to this 8x. The 4 doesn't really have any friends, but we have to move it over anyway, so plus 4. So make sure it's equal to 0 before you start. So it's 25x squared. I think that ends up being 20x minus 20x plus 4 equals 0. This is what we always want when we're solving a quadratic, this unit. Get it equal to 0 before you start. Now you can do quadratic formula, which again, no, you don't have to memorize it, but you do know how to use it and simplify it down. So we identify A. What's A? 25. B is negative 20. And C is 4. So now we will go to our little formula. Plug it in. X is equal to the opposite of B, which is why you see negative B. So if it's negative 20, I would make it positive 20 plus or minus the square root of B squared. I'm just using the formula, so you can follow along the top of your paper, or it's on my whiteboard. Negative 20 squared. Minus 4 times A, which is 25, times C, which is 4. All over 2A. Okay, so all of it over 2 times 25. Okay, if you have a calculator out, like I asked you to, then you will type in this part under the root. You can type it all in your calculator at once. Or you can do it in your head, because this is actually not super hard enough. Negative 20 squares. Okay, if I type this in, I think it ends up being 400 minus 400, which is, did you get 0? Yeah, so 20 plus or minus the square root of 0 over 50. You could do it in your head because it would be 20 squared is 400. 4 times 25 times 4 is 400. Okay, we have the square root of 0. What do you think the square root of 0 is? 0. So 20 plus or minus 0. Okay, but if I do 20 plus 0, it's 20. If I do 20 minus 0, it's 20. So basically your 0 just goes away. Or you can think of it like if I do 20 plus versus 20 minus, it's the same thing. So this is just going to be 20 over 50. The plus or minus doesn't make a difference. So you're basically just canceling out your 0. But we don't leave it like this, right? So 20 and 50 can both divide by 10. So please make it 2/5. So my final answer here is 2/5. Please notice that there is only one solution. What do you think caused it to have only one answer? The 0. Not a coincidence. This will happen if you have a 0 because it's only going to give you one answer for your root and not 2. You should have one solution when you're done. Discriminant is in the quadratic formula. It's your b squared minus 4ac. So this part I've been highlighting in green and telling you to type in your calculator. We call that the discriminant. And what it does is it tells you how many solutions it's going to have. Because it's a number that's under the root. If it's in a square root, that means that it's got some restrictions on it. If you end up with a positive number, so this is chart right here. If you end up with a positive number, then you will have 2 x-intercepts, which would get you 2 real solutions. So if your number in the root is positive, then you're actually going to get 2 answers, right? This middle one is like the one you just saw, where if you end up with a 0, then you only have, how many solutions did you see the last problem? 1. So 1 x-intercept and 1 real solution. So on the x-axis, it would just hit 1 time. The vertex will be on the x-axis. And then your last one, if it is negative, then I have, okay, how many x-intercept? This last graph has no x-intercepts. It doesn't actually cross, which is why if you have a negative under a root, that's when you use I. And so because it doesn't actually cross, we would still solve it, but get an I and to get 2 imaginary solutions, plus or minus. So you're going to figure out what's a discriminant. Is it positive, 0, or negative? And then tell me what kind of solutions it has. It's actually pretty easy. You just have to make sure it's equal to 0 first. That's like the one thing you need to be sure of. It needs to be equal to 0 first. So equal to 0 before you start. And number 5 is already equal to 0, which is great. So now you're going to figure out what's your A, B, and C. On number 5, what is A? 1. B is -6. Remember that sign matters. And C? 10. So we are just doing the part under the root that you've seen me do it in green, or highlight in green. B squared minus 4AC is the only part I want because I'm trying to figure out what number would be under the root and how's that going to affect the number of solutions. Okay, so plug it in. That is -6 squared minus 4 times A, which is 1, times C, which is 10. You can do this part. Again, you can type all of this in your calculator all at once, using parentheses and negatives and all that, or you can do it in your head. I know -6 squared is 36. I know that 4 times 1 times 10 is 40. So it's 36 minus 40, which is, did you get -4 on your, if you did it on your calculator, is that what you did? Okay. So that is my discriminant, is -4, saying that under the root, it would be -4. Well, guys, if it's a negative in the root, then what kind of solutions do you get? You get 2 with an I, right? And so there are no x-intercepts because it's imaginary. So we're going to write that. There's no x-intercepts because it's negative, but you would get 2 imaginary solutions. Because it's negative, you would end up with I's. That's how you can remember that. Because we pretend, basically, right? That we can get solutions and we keep going because a negative's not going to stop us. We're going to get some answers. A is 1 again. B is -6 again. C this time, though, is 9. And so same thing, B squared minus 4AC. It is -6 squared minus 4 times 1 times 9. You can do it in your calculator if you type this whole thing in, or you can do it in your head if you know how to multiply. That is 36 minus 36, which is what? Did you get 0? Okay, look back carefully and think about the one we just did before this. When you end up with square root of 0, how many solutions will you have? 1. So it has 1 x-intercept, which means it has 1 real solution. So nothing imaginary here. The vertex of your quadratic would be on the x-axis, which is why it's 1. Yeah, number 7 does not equal 0, so you have to get it equal to 0 before you start. Otherwise, your A and your B and your C will, well, your B and your C will be incorrect. So move that stuff over by doing the opposite. And there's nothing to combine it to, so now it's just going on the left side. So these are gone. X squared minus 6x plus 8 is equal to 0. Now that it's equal to 0, you can figure out A, B, C. So b squared minus 4ac is what we're doing to try and figure out what would be under the root. So again, negative 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times 8. You can type it all in if you want, using a calculator, or you can use your brain. Again, 36. 4 times 1 times 8 is 32. And that will give me positive 4, right? Okay, if I end up with a positive root, how many x-intercepts would I have? 2. I get 2 real solutions because I can take the square root of 4. So there are 2 x-intercepts. This is what this means. And because I actually get x-intercepts, there's 2 real solutions. We're not pretending here. They're actually graphable.